Welcome to this incredible journey into the heart of Greek mythology. Today I'm going to reveal some incredible, astonishing, and sometimes even disturbing facts about the gods, heroes, and legends of ancient Greece. Sit back, relax, and let yourself be transported to a world where the gods reigned supreme. The Titans, children of Uranus and Gaia, dominated the cosmos before the Olympian era. Led by Cronus, they reigned mightily, defying the nascent order. Fearing a prophecy foreshadowing his fall, Cronus devoured his own children. However, Zeus, saved by Rhea, grew up in secret and unleashed the Titanomachy. For 10 years, gods and titans clashed in a titanic war. Finally, Zeus triumphed with the help of the Cyclopes and the Hecatonchires. The defeated titans were imprisoned in Tartarus, guarded by the giants. Their fall marked the rise of the Olympian gods, establishing a new cosmic order. Now let's talk about Athena. Athena, goddess of wisdom and strategic warfare, was born from a unique miracle. Zeus, fearing a prophecy foretelling a son more powerful than himself, swallowed the pregnant Métis. But instead of a formidable heir, he was struck by a terrible migraine. Hephaestus then split his skull with an axe, and Athena emerged, fully grown and in armor. Protector of Athens, she embodies intelligence, justice, and the art of war. She guided many heroes such as Odysseus and Perseus. Virgin and invincible, she symbolizes reason triumphing over brute force. Her cult has endured through the ages. Sisyphus, cunning king of Corinth, dared to defy the gods with his deceptions and was punished by Hades. Condemned to eternally push a boulder to the top of a hill, he saw his efforts reduced to nothing with each attempt. This endless torture symbolizes the absurdity of certain human struggles and the inevitable repetition of failures. Albert Camus portrayed him as a symbol of the human condition in the face of absurdity. Sisyphus, despite his cruel fate, embodies resistance and perseverance. His story reminds us that even in adversity, man can choose to face his fate with dignity. Prometheus, a visionary titan, defied the gods to offer mankind the sacred fire, a symbol of knowledge and progress. Through this audacious act, he freed humanity from darkness and weakness. But Zeus, furious at this betrayal, condemned him to eternal torture. Chained to a rock, he watched every day as an eagle devoured his liver, which grew back tirelessly. Yet, Prometheus never bowed to divine injustice. His myth embodies the revolt against tyranny and the price of progress. It symbolizes resistance and sacrifice for the common good. The Amazons, formidable warriors, embodied independence and feminine power. Living without men, they formed a matriarchal society dedicated to the art of war. Their bravery was legendary, confronting heroes like Heracles and Achilles. According to myth, they burned one breast to better shoot with a bow. Mounted on swift horses, they dominated the battlefields with agility. Feared by the Greeks, they symbolized a feminine ideal beyond patriarchal norms. Their queen, Hippolyta, possessed a belt coveted by Heracles. Both myths and inspirations, they still defy stereotypes today. Orpheus, an exceptional poet and musician, was madly in love with Eurydice. Upon her death, he braved the inconceivable and descended to the underworld to bring her back. Seduced by her singing, Hades granted her a chance on one condition: not to look back before leaving the realm of the dead. But doubt and impatience were stronger. At the gates of light, he glanced back, and saw Eurydice vanish forever. Broken, Orpheus wandered alone, singing of his lost love. His myth embodies the power of art, the test of doubt, and the pain of impossible loves. Heracles, son of Zeus and Alcmene, embodies strength and resilience in the face of adversity. A victim of Hera's jealousy, he had to perform 12 labors to atone for his sins. He triumphed over the impenetrable Nemean lion and slew the repulsively headed Lernaean hydra. He captured the Cyrenian hind and the Erymanthian boar, tamed the horses of Diomedes, and cleaned the Augean stables in a single day. His courage led him to the underworld to bring back Cerberus. By stealing the golden apples of the Hesperides, he proved that perseverance and heroism triumph over all adversity. Narcissus, of exceptional beauty, fascinated all who met his gaze. Indifferent to the love of others, He rejected the nymph Echo, who wasted away from grief. As punishment, the gods condemned him to a passion for his own reflection. Bending over a clear spring, he fell desperately in love with his image, unable to tear himself away. Consumed by this obsession, he eventually died of despair. At the place of his disappearance, a flower bearing his name bloomed. His myth illustrates the dangers of self-centeredness and the fatal illusion of an unattainable love. The Minotaur, this fearsome half-man, half-bull creature, wandered the vast labyrinth built by Daedalus on the island of Crete. Designed to trap this monstrosity, the labyrinth was so complex that no one had ever been able to escape alive. Every year, as a tribute, Athens sent 7 young men and 7 young women to the Minotaur to feed his insatiable hunger. The hero Theseus, son of King Aegeus of Athens, decided to put an end to this scourge. He went to Crete and, thanks to the invaluable help of Ariadne, the daughter of King Minos, he obtained a thread that he could unwind behind him to find his way back. After facing the Minotaur in a fierce battle, Theseus managed to kill him, thus putting an end to the terror. Thanks to Ariadne's thread, he managed to find the exit from the labyrinth, thus escaping death. His exploit went down in history and he returned triumphantly to Athens, putting an end to the human sacrifice imposed by Minos. This legendary adventure made Theseus an undisputed hero and a symbol of courage and cunning. Let's talk about the story of Pandora and her famous box. According to legend, Pandora, the first woman created by the gods, received a sealed box as a gift, accompanied by a warning: she must not open it. Driven by an irrepressible curiosity, Pandora gave in to temptation and opened the box. At that precise moment, all of humanity's ills poured out: disease, suffering, war, jealousy, greed, everything that could overwhelm men. But at the bottom of the box, only one thing remained, invisible at first glance: hope. This, although born in darkness, brought a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. Hope then became a guide, a light in the darkest moments of human existence. While all misfortunes had been freed, this precious virtue remained to offer comfort, a promise of perseverance. Thus, despite pain and hardship, humanity still finds the strength to move forward. The curse of the house of a tree. Imagine a family so cursed that betrayal, murder, and revenge seemed inevitable. Such was the fate of the house of Atreus. It all began with Tantalus, a man who tried to deceive the gods by serving them his own son as a meal. The gods, outraged by this horrific act, resurrected the boy, but cursed Tantalus's lineage forever. Generations later, his descendants faced countless tragedies: brothers killing brothers, children avenging their fathers, a cycle of violence that seemed unbreakable. This myth warns us that the choices we make today can resonate for generations. Breaking this cycle takes courage and wisdom. The creation of the Milky Way. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered how the Milky Way was created? According to Greek mythology, it happened by accident. The infant Heracles, yes, the mighty Hercules, was placed in the womb of the goddess Hera without her knowledge. When she realized he wasn't her own child, she rejected him. Her divine milk spilled across the sky, forming the galaxy we know today. This myth reminds us that sometimes, even in moments of rejection or conflict, something beautiful can emerge. The tragic story of Icarus. Icarus and his father Daedalus attempted to escape their prison by building wings of feathers and wax. Before taking off, Daedalus warned his son, "Fly too low and the sea will mar your wings. Fly too high and the sun will melt them." But as they rose into the sky, Icarus became overconfident. He rose higher and higher until the heat melted the wax from his wings. He crashed into the sea, a tragic reminder that hubris and recklessness can lead to our downfall. The myth of Icarus teaches us the importance of balance. Dream big but stay grounded. Ambition is precious, but it must be accompanied by wisdom. The Trojan War and its heroes. This famous conflict, sparked by the abduction of Helen by Paris, pitted the Greeks against the Trojans. This epic, recounted in Homer's Iliad, features heroes such as Achilles, Hector, and Odysseus. This will be the subject of a full video later. Don't forget to subscribe. In this conflict, the Trojan horse is a masterpiece of deception. During the Trojan War, the Greeks knew they could not defeat the mighty city of Troy by force. So they used their greatest weapon, deception. They built a huge wooden horse, ostensibly as a peace offering. The Trojans accepted the gift and celebrated their victory. But hidden inside the horse were Greek soldiers. That night, while the Trojans slept, the Greeks emerged, opened the city gates and claimed victory. This legendary feat shows us that sometimes strategy and patience can prevail where brute force cannot. Let's revisit one of these heroes and talk about his journey home. Odysseus is one of my favorite Greek heroes, king of Ithaca, who embodies ingenuity and perseverance in the face of adversity. After the Trojan War, his return lasted 10 years, punctuated by trials imposed by the gods. He confronted the Cyclops Polyphemus, resisted the spells of Circe and the songs of the sirens. Protected by Athena but pursued by the wrath of Poseidon, he wandered hostile seas. His courage and cunning allowed him to triumph over dangers, notably by outwitting the pretenders to his throne. His journey illustrates man's quest in the face of destiny, between bravery and wisdom. The hero Achilles has been immortalized by Mr. Brad Pitt. He is one of the most famous heroes of Greek mythology, known for his incredible strength and courage. Son of the nymph Thetis and King Peleus, he was almost immortal thanks to a magical bath in the river Styx, which made his entire body invulnerable, except for his heel, which he forgot to immerse in the water. This detail would prove fatal, for it was by this heel that he died, struck by an arrow during the Trojan War. Achilles distinguished himself for his bravery during the siege of Troy, notably by killing Hector, the Trojan prince, in an epic battle. But he was not only a warrior, he also had a tragic dimension. His anger, particularly against Agamemnon, leader of the Greeks, nearly caused the war to fail. When he withdrew from the battle after an argument with Agamemnon, the Greeks suffered heavy losses. It was only when his friend Patroclus was killed by Hector that Achilles returned to the battlefield to avenge his death. His heroism, fury, and tragic fate made him a complex and unforgettable character in the story of the Trojan War. The origin of the seasons, Demeter and Persephone. The goddess of agriculture, Demeter, had a beloved daughter named Persephone. One day, Persephone was abducted by Hades, the god of the underworld, who took her to his dark realm. Devastated, Demeter neglected her duties and the land became barren, causing a terrible winter. Eventually, an agreement was reached. Persephone would spend 6 months in the underworld and 6 months on Earth each year. Thus are born the seasons. Spring and summer celebrate Persephone's return, while autumn and winter mark her absence. This story illustrates loss, mourning, but also the hope of renewal even after the darkest moments. The Fates, daughters of Nyx or Themis depending on the myth, embody inevitable destiny. Clotho spins the thread of life, Lachesis measures it, and Atropos cuts it, marking the end of each existence. Even the Olympian gods cannot alter their judgment, for they represent the immutable order of the cosmos. Their power surpasses that of Zeus himself, ensuring that each being follows their preordained destiny. Present from birth, they watch over the course of time and events. Symbols of fate, they illustrate the impossibility of escaping one's fate. If you too want to be able to create videos like this or even more, I'll leave you a link to a training course I did in the description. Don't hesitate to go see it. Let's talk a little about these legendary gods without dwelling on them. This will be the subject of other, more in-depth videos. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss them. Let's go. Zeus, king of the gods. Zeus, master of the sky and thunder, is one of the most influential figures in Greek mythology. He wields lightning, which he uses to assert his power and punish injustice. But Zeus is also famous for his countless romantic adventures, which gave birth to numerous heroes and deities. Although powerful, Zeus is often trapped by his own human weaknesses, which makes him fascinating and complex. If we talk about Zeus, we have to talk about Hera. Hera, wife of Zeus, is the protector of marriage and women. Her tumultuous relationship with Zeus is marked by jealousy, which she often expresses with relentless vengeance against her husband's lovers and illegitimate children. Hera, however, is a respected goddess, a symbol of the strength and dignity of marriage in Greek society. Another powerful god, Poseidon, the god of the seas and earthquakes. Armed with his trident, he is capable of stirring up fearsome storms or calming the waves. Sailors paid homage to him to ensure a safe passage. In addition to his divine role, Poseidon is also famous for his many monstrous children, such as the Cyclops Polyphemus. Hades in the realm of the dead. Hades, the dark lord of the underworld, rules over the souls of the deceased. Although often associated with death, Hades is not an evil figure, but rather an impartial guardian of the underworld. His kingdom is divided into several parts, where the righteous are rewarded and criminals punished. Hades embodies the severity of fate and the balance of the cycle of life and death. Apollo, god of the arts and light. Apollo, god of the sun and the arts, is renowned for his beauty and musical talent. Armed with his golden lyre, he inspires poets and musicians. Apollo is also a powerful seer, whose oracles were consulted by kings and warriors before battles. His light embodies both knowledge and order. Artemis, goddess of the hunt. Twin sister of Apollo, Artemis is the goddess of the hunt and the wilderness. Worshipped by young girls, she symbolizes independence and purity. She is often depicted with a bow and deer, recalling her closeness to animals. Or even Dionysus. Dionysus is the god of wine, revelry, drunkenness, and theater. Its festivities, called the Dionysia, were marked by dances, music, and plays. It embodies the freedom of emotions and the transgression of social rules. Aphrodite, goddess of love. Aphrodite, born from the foam of the sea, is the goddess of love and beauty. Her irresistible charm influenced gods and mortals alike. Her relationship with Adonis and her role in the Trojan War illustrate her influence on human destinies. Hermes, messenger of the gods. God of commerce, thieves, and travelers, Hermes is known for his speed and ingenuity. He wears winged sandals and carries a caduceus, a symbol of peace and healing. He is also responsible for guiding souls to the underworld. Ares, god of war. Son of Zeus and Hera, Ares is the god of brutal war and carnage. He embodies the blind violence of combat, the opposite of the strategy symbolized by Athena. His impetuosity makes him a feared and often criticized figure. Greek mythology is much more than a collection of fantastical tales. It is a mirror of our doubts, our struggles, and our hopes. So, remember that, like Heracles, you can overcome trials. Like Orpheus, you must never lose faith. And above all, like Prometheus, believe in the power of knowledge and courage. It's a fascinating universe, rich in complex characters and unforgettable stories. This is just a glimpse of the treasures contained within this incredible pantheon. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing so that these stories continue to inspire generations. See you soon for another deep dive into the mysteries of mythology as a whole.